This is number 5 on my list of things to do, so it's not a top priority. But let's just say all these things come to fruition, and we're having a great offseason so far. Having a great offseason. Josh, I'm picking up the phone, and I'm making a call. Would you like to take a guess as to which team I'm giving a call to? Just take a guess as to who am I trying to acquire?
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, if we get Matt Chapman, no need to call the Cardinals. It's a National League team. I'll tell you that. It's a National League team.
And it'd be a trade.
It'd be a trade. Maybe a team in the same division as the Dodgers.
Oh, man. You're not calling the Padres, are you?
I'm calling the Padres.
Oh, God.
I'm calling AJ Preller.
The move you're going to.
And I'm saying, hey, AJ. I couldn't help but notice. I saw this the other day on social media that you had to take out a loan for $50 million. Man, you guys are really struggling financially. Oh, you want to get your payroll beneath $200 million for the 2024 season? Man, that's going to take a lot of moves. Machado's under contract for like another decade. I don't want him. Xander Bogaerts is under contract for another decade. I don't want him. Yu Darvish is old. I don't want him. What? Oh, so there's a guy that's making about 30-something million dollars next year. That's going to be free agent next off season. That you can't afford to bring back and re-sign. Well, how about I do you the brotherly favor? I take his salary off your hands, and you can reassess next offseason when you're under $200 million. Because I am trying to acquire Juan Soto from the San Diego Padres. Like I laid out, they need to cut payroll. They've publicly said we need to get below $200 million. Well, if they're going to get under $200 million, the only way to do that is if they trade Machado, if they trade Tatis. Those aren't going to happen. So you got to trade Juan Soto. The Dodgers were in on Juan Soto a couple years ago at the deadline. The only reason they didn't get him was because the Padres massively overpaid. Now, granted, I think we both agreed if you're the Dodgers, you trade whatever you can to get Juan Soto. But if I'm the Padres, I can get a couple of the Dodgers' top prospects. I can recoup my farm just a little. Because let's face it, they need to be real with themselves. Juan Soto's walking next year. If they want to keep him for a potential playoff push, they can. But he's going to walk and you're going to get nothing. You save $30 million, you get under that $200 million number you want, get a couple of top prospects back in your system, and then use that money to spend somewhere else. So Josh, not only am I signing Shohei Ohtani, not only am I signing Yamamoto, not only am I signing Matt Chapman and trading for Corbin Burns, after I do all this and everyone thinks I'm done, I'm striking and I'm bringing in Juan Soto, giving me a starting lineup of Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Matt Chapman, James Outman, and Gavin Lux. Give me the greatest 1 through 9
way
we've
more
ever
than
seen.
9 players. That was way more than 9 players.
So that's what I'm doing, because the Dodgers can afford him for $30 million for 1 year, and if you have no intention of bringing him back next year, so be it. You're getting 1 year with arguably the greatest lineup we've ever seen in baseball history, and I think it's worth the move.
What does your
So what do you
outfield
say?
look like defensively? What
Well,
are
you
you
put-
doing? How are you
you put
structuring it?
You put Juan Soto in left field and you just close your eyes, but he actually wasn't the worst left fielder in baseball this year. Center field, you have James Outman, and right field, you have Mookie Betts. Put him back in right field because you have Max Muncy at second base. Talk to me, co-GM. Talk to me.
I don't love it, but
You don't hate it.
I definitely don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. Okay. All right. Okay.
The only reason it won't happen is because Preller will just refuse to send him to the Dodgers. The Dodgers could say, we'll give you Bobby Miller, we'll give you Michael Busch, we'll give you Miguel Vargas, we'll give you Emmett Sheehan, we'll give you 10% of Frank McCourt's parking deal. And Preller would still probably say, nope, we're going to be a playoff team this year. We're going to be a World Series caliber team this year. If they believe that, if they believe they can re-sign him to a $500 million deal, which they cannot afford, hey, I'll let the Padres, I'll let Juan Soto go down with the ship. But I'm calling and I'm saying, this is your golden ticket. I can save you. I can help you. Let me help you.
I just
We'll see.
think with what, first of all, the decisions in San Diego these last couple years have been bad. Did you see what came out the other day about who they almost hired before Bob Melvin?
I did not.
Bruce Bochy. Preller met with Bruce Bochy before
Oh.
choosing Bob Melvin.
But that's okay, Josh. I mean, Bruce Bochy retired. He just rode off into
Yeah.
the sunset, right? He didn't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, and then he won the World Series. Yeah.
Ah,
But then you
that's
look
right.
like the farm system. You know what this is like? This is almost, if you get this to work out, it's almost like that scene in Draft Day where he's like, I want my picks back. I want all of them.
Yes.
Where it's like, hey, like you gave up everything to sign all these guys and to make these trades, and you go out and you get Snell and you re-sign Tatis and you've got Machado and then you've got all these, you got Bogarts, and then you make the trades for Juan Soto and Josh Hader and all these guys, and it just doesn't work out, and the farm system has been trashed and completely pillaged. It is a way for the Padres to get some of those options back and get some of those assets. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And part of me also, taking us and you out of the equation as GM, I do not see the Dodgers sending those guys to San Diego either.
Yeah, that's
That
the
I
tough
think is,
part.
I see that being the biggest issue rather than Preller and the Padres saying no thanks, but to sending him to the Dodgers.
Friedman just can't live with the idea of Michael Bush sending one 450 feet into the Crone Zone in San Diego
You know what's
wearing a
funny
Pods
though is I
jersey.
thought you were gonna say let's go get Cronenworth.
Oh,
That's what I
no.
thought you were gonna say. Because
It's
remember
not
last
awful.
year, you remember last year who you said the Dodgers should pick up? You remember that?
Did I say Cronenworth at one point?
No, you said Jurix
Oh.
and Profar.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We were down bad then if that was the case.
Yeah. So I would not, I thought you were gonna say Cronenworth, who we've determined is just good against the Dodgers.
Yeah, just only the Dodgers. So,
He's
but hey,
Derek
man,
Jeter defensively against the Dodgers, or at least he was in 2022.
I saw a thing a few weeks ago, Josh. It was from the Padres beat reporter for The Athletic, and he was doing like a mailbag kind of article, and he pretty much said when the Padres board their plane, I think they're going to Seoul, Korea to play the Dodgers in that matchup. He said when the Padres board that plane, the expectation is Juan Soto will not be on it. Now, I don't know if he is predicting that Juan Soto is going to have food poisoning, is going to stay back in the States, but it everyone thinks that there's no way Juan Soto is on this team next year because again, that's their only silver lining. Unless a team again picks up that Machado contract, that Bogarts contract, that Tatis contract, those aren't happening. This saves them 30 million to get under that tax. So we'll see. I think Juan Soto, there's a chance he gets traded. And again, if I'm the Dodgers, especially Josh, I think more so if you do strike out on Shohei Ohtani, if Shohei signs with the Mets, if he signs with the Rangers, if he signs with the Giants, I think that gives the Dodgers even more reasons to just go all in. You trade for Soto, and then next year when he's an off season, or next off season when he's a free agent, then you say we'll give you 450 million because this is still a guy. I I don't know if this is a hot take, Josh. I'd rather have Juan Soto for the next decade over Shohei Ohtani, just because one he's younger. I mean he's I think 5 years younger, and I do think he's an overall better hitter. I know you're getting the pitching potentially with Shohei, but if I'm handing out 500 million, I think I might take Juan Soto just because I know for the next 10 years I'm getting a hitter that might not even be in his prime yet. Whereas with Shohei, I might be getting a 30-year-old who's thrown his last pitch in Major League Baseball. So again, if they strike out on Shohei, I think it gives them more reason to be more aggressive for Juan Soto. But that's just me, again, having a hot take at the very end of my wish list because I'm a greedy man, Josh. I want it all.
I know you do.